Some of these videos I'm a day behind. So after this video, Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez can reach the deal. But in this video, Eddie Hearn gives us an update of the situation. But before we go to that, I want to talk about Eddie Hearn for a minute, the narrative that's going around. They're saying Eddie Hearn, when people sign with Eddie Hearn, they start to lose. That has nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. And I feel Eddie Hearn is doing his job. He's not putting these guys in easy fights. Even his cash cow, Anthony Joshua, is in tough fights. Anthony Joshua has the best resume in the heavyweight division. Whether you think he's chinny, robotic, or whatever, he fights the best guys in the heavyweight division. When they get these guys from the PBC or the Golden Boy or whatever they come from, they have soft touches. When they get with Eddie Hearn, he wants to see what these guys are made of, how good they are. I never seen Wilder look like that until he got with Eddie Hearn. Deontay Wilder was a hype job. When he started facing real competition, we saw what Deontay Wilder was made of. Anthony Joshua has lost 4 fights under Eddie Hearn, and that's his golden goose, right? But also, Anthony Joshua has been 2-time unified heavyweight champion. Now they want to blame him for the Jaleel Hackett loss. And we all heard all kinds of rumors about Jaleel Hackett not being in shape, draining himself to make weight. And get this, they're going to blame Eddie Hearn for this loss. But Jaleel Hackett went in there as a 12-1 favorite to beat this guy. That tells me right there that Jaleel Hackett is not as good as he's been advertised. And he hasn't looked good under Matchroom like he did with PBC. And some of these guys, boxing insiders, say it's because of matchmaking. To me, that's another term for cherry picking. I think Eddie needs to keep doing what he's doing, regardless what these casual fans think. One loss is not a death sentence. They still could come back and be great. But on the other side of the coin, some of these guys will not be champions. They just hype jobs. Anyway, let's listen to Eddie Hearn's update on the Jaron and Teofimo situation. I don't own the rights to his material. It's for educational purposes only. Here's Eddie Hearn giving us a scoop of Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez.
So if we can't unify, he's got a decision to fight Teofimo Lopez, or if he does move up to 54, he will fight Virgil Ortiz straight away. We're 100% staying at 147 for the next fight, and maybe another one, but we have to deliver now that unification. He really needs a big fight, and he wants that big fight to be a unification. Now, if we can't get the unification, it's tough, but we then have to look at the other options, and the other options could be Teofimo Lopez or Virgil Ortiz, but he's just not moving to 54 yet. One thing I promise you is he will either be in a unification or a massive fight next.
Now, when it comes to the Teofimo Lopez fight, I've been having second thoughts. First, I thought Teofimo really may want to fight, but now I don't think so. I don't think he wants to fight Jaron Ennis, but the only way to prove that is Jaron Ennis needs to call his bluff. He needs to accept the fight if he cannot get no unification matches. And right now it's looking pretty dim because what champion is available at 147? Stanionis has a man though. Brian Norman is taking a tune-up, so he's not available. And there are rumors that Mario Barrios was heading to fight Manny Pacquiao. Now the rumor is he's going to fight Conor Benn, and a Conor Benn paycheck is more than a Jaron Ennis paycheck right now. So this puts Boots in a bad situation. Because I looked at the 147-pound division, there are no massive fights out there. There are no fights at 147 pounds that are going to make people forget they ducked Virgil Ortiz. People used to call Boots the boogeyman. Now, he's shaping up to be the biggest duck in history. It looks like, from my view, he's going to have to see what Teofimo Lopez is talking about. He's going to have to press him and see if he really wants to fight. To me, he's in a no-win situation. I do not think he gets credit if he beats Teofimo Lopez. But if he loses to him, he will be ridiculed. I just don't see any other options for him. He's going to have to call Teo's bluff and accept the fight. You know how I feel now. I don't think Teofimo really wants to fight. He's not the boogeyman like people think. He turned down the Brian Norman Jr. fight that was offered to him. And he said he only wants to fight champions. Brian Norman's an undefeated champion. Also, Richardson Hitchens, who's also an undefeated champion, called him out, and Teofimo declined both those fights. Also, Bill Haney was on a Coach Malachi show. Shout out to Coach Malachi. And he said Turki Al-Sheikh offered Teofimo Lopez a fight on Riyadh's season card against Devin Haney, and he turned it down. And I'm sure, in Eddie Hearn's words, that was a massive payday. But anyway, what do you think? Where does Jaron Boots Ennis go from there? Should he take the Teofimo Lopez fight? I'm thinking so. I think he needs to push the envelope on that. But what are your thoughts? Jay Beezy, I'm gone.